Okay. So we discussed this, right? Something like AWS DevOps date, what is types of DevOps, types of hardwares, what is Linux, who developed Linux, so what are the flavors of a Linux, which flavor of the Linux we are using in this course, Red Hat, CentOS 7, Red Hat Fedora, so Oracle Linux, Amazon Linux, these two are the same like as a Red Hat flavors. If you know any one of these OX, we can handle Red Hat, CentOS, Fedora, Oracle, Amazon Linux. Okay. Yeah, so architecture of the Linux, so we are discussing. So I already told you, right? The architecture of the architecture is, yeah. So this is the architecture of the Linux. Linux architecture. So first initially hardware and hardware. So you connect with the kernel and kernel connect with the shell. So whatever the commands we are executing in the shell, right? Kernel took that and it connect to the hardware and execute the commands. Utilities means these are the utilities, something like we are using the commands, right? That are the utilities. So now you understood, right? So yeah. Mm, Next, a Linux file system hierarchy. What is that?
Next file system hierarchy, sir.
Linux file system. Linux file system hierarchy. So Linux file system hierarchy means, so what is Linux file system hierarchy? So, so whenever, what is that? So
When
whenever we install the Linux OS, right? Linux OS, that time by default, by default, few directories, few directories are created, few directories are created, and what uh, what are those and what are those directories and the purpose and purpose of the directories. So right, same like as a Windows, same like as a Windows. So Windows OS. So when you install the Windows OS, a default file structure is created. So this is the a default file structure for the Windows operating system. What is that? A default one. This was created while installing the OS. This was created while installing the OS. So now you understood something like this is a, so this is a Windows file system, Windows file system hierarchy. So what is the a file system hierarchy for the Linux? Linux file system. So Linux file system hierarchy. So what is the Linux file system hierarchy? I will show you guys. Yeah. So this is the Linux file system. This is the Linux file system hierarchy. So what are the directories? Right, guys. Here, so in Windows we call it as a, in Windows we call it as a folder. Right. In Linux we call it as a, What is that, guys? So in Windows we call it as a folder. In Linux we call it as a directory. So now you understood, guys, from now onwards. So if you are seeing any folder in Linux, so what we call it as? So we call it as a directories. So what are the directories are there in the Linux file system hierarchy? Something like, so what is the Linux file system hierarchy? What is, why it is coming this? What is the redo command? Hmm? Control, control Z is nothing but a back, right? Redo, undo. Hmm? Why? Hmm? Something I pressed it. Okay, guys, no worries. So now you understood, right? These are the 1 second, guys. Mm, yeah, I will take a new one instead of this. Why? No, not this color. Sindhu, do you know how we can reduce this?
I think please select go back one sir. Yes sir. Grid lines are closed. Right sir, that's it sir.
That's it, right? Grid lines, huh? Oh, last one we. Okay, got it, guys. So yeah, so this is a Linux file system hierarchy. So this is the a Linux file system hierarchy, and so this is a Windows file system hierarchy. What this is, guys? This is a Windows file system hierarchy. So what are the directories and what are the folder? What are the directories or what are the folders are there in the Windows and Linux? So Windows and Linux, right? What this is? This is a,
Linux file system hierarchy sir.
yeah, very good, right? file view text Linux file system Linux file system hierarchy. So right, so these directories are created for some specific purpose. I will show you. So what this has, so something like a program files. So program files is nothing but Shravan. Hmm. Ah. సరే సరే Yeah, all these uh, all these are something like a so program files and program files x86. The program files x86, so what are there? Something like the third party software, Superputty, Mozilla, so right, Mozilla, Google Chrome, CP plus, Common Files, Adobe, these all are created. So third party softwares will be created under the program files x86. Normal software, so the system related softwares will be installed under the program files. Why? Right, now you understood. So and so the users. So what are the users created? The users information, users home directory will be created under the users folder. Something like a Windows, so all the system related, something like related will be installed under the Windows. This is related to processor. This is related to processor. These folders are created by default while installing the Windows. So the same like as Linux file system hierarchy also. So the file systems. So in Linux, what we call it as a file folder is nothing but
Direct directory, sir.
directory, right? What is that? 1 second, guys. Okay. Yeah, 1 second, guys. Sorry. Yeah, these directories in Windows we call it as a folder, right? In Windows, Control P, something like mm, bold. So yeah, in Windows we call it as folder, folder. So in Linux we call it as a directory. So we call it as a directory. In Linux, folder is nothing but a
Directory.
Sindhu. directory, right? So yeah, so something like users. Users are two types. What is that? Users are two types. So one is administrator user. So administrator user means so this user can do anything because because of this user this user is created while installing the OS. So who is administrator? Administrator user means administrator having the all the privileges. Administrator is a so all the can do anything. So the second one is normal users. This users will create this users will create after the will create after the deployment after the after the OS installation after the OS installations, right? Users are two types. One is administrator user and normal user. So so for example, my user is HP user. My user is HP user. This is the normal user. This is the normal user. Nice understood. So here also users are two types. Users are two types. So what are those? Administrator user. So here administrator user is nothing but a root user. So root user is nothing but a super user. So this user is created while installing the OS. While installing the OS. So this super user or root user can do anything. Can do anything means all the privileges. All the privileges are having this root user. So second one is the normal user. So normal user having some certain limit of permissions, certain limit of so permissions. So right. So for example, if you logged in as a root user, if you log in as a root user, so which user I logged in as a? I logged in as a which user, guys? I logged in as a root user. Root user is the admin user. Root user can do anything. Root user can do anything. Understood, guys? So who created this root user, administrator user? While while installing the OS, a default user is created. That user is a root user. That user is a root user. So normal user. So normal user having certain limit of permissions. Certain limit of permissions. Guys understood? Sindhu?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah. So who is the this is the so slash is the parent directory for all the directories in Windows. So what is the parent directory? For example, C is the parent directory for all these directories, right? All these folders. Same like as a slash is the parent directory for all the directories. What is that? Parent directory for all the directories. Parent directory for all the directories. So what are those? What is this bin? Bin contains. So bin contains commands. What is that? Commands. So commands means how you are interacting with the Linux guys through CLI commands through commands ls pwd so cd mkdir. So I will tell you no worries. For example, few these are the examples. So how you can interact with the Linux OS through commands only. So those commands will be located under the bin is nothing but a binary directory, right? So once you logged in as a you logged in as a which user? Root user. So cd pwd. You see the root to slash root is the directory for the root user's home directory. What is that, guys? So root is slash root is the directory. This directory is only for the root users. Root users. So right. So slash boot is nothing but a bootable information. So when you press the on, right, power on button on your laptop or a desktop, whatever it is, so it will open the SR OS, right? Before that, what are the options? What are the actions will do while opening the OS, right? Slash boot. The bootable information will be located under the slash boot. Okay, and sbin. Sbin is nothing but a super binary commands. Super binary commands. Right. Commands will be the commands will be stored under the two directories. One is bin directory, the other directory is sbin directory. So who are executed these commands, guys? Who are executed these commands? Users. Which users? Root user
Root use.
and normal user. So normal user should be like as the normal users should be like as Sindhu, okay, Hari, Yatis, right? Yatis, Maresh, so or something like Devansh. So these all are the normal users. So normal users will execute only which commands? Which commands, guys? Bin commands. So bin and sbin contains the commands only. Bin and sbin contains commands only. Commands only. Who will execute the bin and sbin commands? So bin and sbin commands will execute which user? Which
Root
user,
user.
guys? Yes, very good. So which user? Root user. Because of root user is the administrator user or super user. You see, so bin and sbin commands will execute both. So bin and sbin commands will execute both. Will execute both bin and sbin commands by the root user. By the root user, but only bin commands will executed by the normal users. Normal users. Understood, right? Next. Mm, temp. So temp is the directory for so it's a temporary directory. So we can store the data. We can store the data in the temporary directory. Slash srv. I already showed you, right? What are the system related softwares will be installed under the program files x86? Third party softwares will be installed under the program files. After OS, we installing the softwares, right? Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Putty, right? The third party tools. The system related tools will be installed under the slash sorry here. The system related softwares will be installed under the slash usr. Third party softwares will be installed under the OPT directory. So third party softwares like Tomcat web server, right? Tomcat web server is the third party software. So where we can install the third party softwares, we can install the third party softwares on the OPT directory. Which directory, guys? OPT directory. So next, the slash etc contains configuration, all the configuration files. What it contains? It contains the all the configuration files. Configuration files. Slash home. What is this, guys? Slash home is the directory for the normal users home directory. Slash home is the directory for the normal users home directory. Slash home is the directory for the normal users home directory. For example, our user created in the as a normal user. So as a root user, what is the root user's home directory? Slash root is the rat user's home directory. So I want to create a Hari directory, Hari user, and so his home directory is something like a slash home Hari. Slash home, under slash home, there is a directory created. That directory is the so normal users home directory. Guys, understood? So next, so what is devices? Device is nothing but a hard disk. The hard disk information will be located under the which directory, guys? Slash dev. So where? The system related logs, third party system related, all the system related of logs will be located under the var log messages. Where is that? Var log messages. Next, MNT media. MNT is nothing but if you want to if you want to keep a pen drive in our laptop. So for example, if you are using a Mac laptop. So right. So what is that? So what we are discussing? Home. MNT. So MNT is nothing but a mounting. So if you want to mount the external devices, something like USB device or external hard disk device, if you want to mount it, you can use the MNT device. MNT device. Next media. That is CD-ROM, the CD-ROM, right? DVD-ROM, CD-ROM, you already know. So that DVD or CD-ROM, so if you are installing through that only, that is nothing but a media. So the ISO files will be located under the slash media. Right? Now you understood, guys? So this is the file system hierarchy. This is a file system hierarchy. Tomorrow we will discuss with the practical. So tomorrow we'll discuss with the practical. Okay, guys? Understood? Sindhu? Tomorrow, guys, sharp 2 p.m. the class will be starts. Okay? Sindhu? Sindhu there?
Sir, I'm here, sir.
Okay. So the class will be tomorrow at same time, 2 p.m. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Please upload recordings, sir.
I will upload today's and last day recording.
Okay, sir. Thank you.